In 1947, a young Bedouin shepherd stumbled upon a cave near the Dead Sea. Inside, he found clay jars filled with ancient scrolls, some over 2,000 years old. It was one of the most important archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. They were called the Dead Sea Scrolls, and they changed how we understand the Bible, Judaism, and early Christianity. But here's the question people still ask. Do the Dead Sea Scrolls mention Jesus? Let's dive into the mystery. The scrolls were found in caves near Qumran, an ancient settlement by the Dead Sea. They include over 900 texts, written mostly in Hebrew and Aramaic, dating from the 3rd century BCE to the 1st century CE, the exact time Jesus lived. The scrolls contain parts of the Hebrew Bible, religious rules, community laws, and apocalyptic visions. They were likely written by a strict Jewish sect known as the Essenes, who believed the world was corrupt and the end was near. They lived in isolation, waiting for two messiahs, one priestly, one kingly, both meant to cleanse Israel and defeat evil. Sound familiar? That's why some people believe the scrolls must be connected to Jesus. After all, he also preached about the coming kingdom, purity, and end times. But here's the truth. Nowhere in the Dead Sea Scrolls is Jesus directly mentioned by name. Not Jesus of Nazareth, not Yeshua, nothing. So, is that the end of the story? Not quite. While the scrolls don't talk about Jesus explicitly, they reveal a world on fire with religious expectation, the same world Jesus stepped into. The Qumran texts mention a coming teacher of righteousness, a spiritual leader opposed by a wicked priest. They speak of miracle workers, exorcisms, and a final battle between the sons of light and the sons of darkness. In other words, the scrolls don't describe Jesus, but they describe a society ready for someone like him. And here's the twist. Some fringe researchers claim that the teacher of righteousness was Jesus, or at least inspired by him. Others suggest that Jesus might have known of the Essenes, or even been influenced by them. But there's no hard evidence to prove this. No name, no event, no clear link. Mainstream scholars like Geza Vermis and Bart Ehrman agree. The Dead Sea Scrolls help us understand the religious climate of Jesus' time, not the biography of Jesus himself. Still, their importance is massive. Before the scrolls were found, our oldest copies of the Hebrew Bible dated to the 10th century CE. The Dead Sea Scrolls pushed that back 1,000 years, showing remarkable consistency in the biblical texts. They also showed that Judaism in the Second Temple period wasn't a single voice. It was a storm of ideas, factions, and visions. Jesus didn't appear in a vacuum. He came into a world filled with hope, fear, prophecy, and division, the same world the scrolls reflect. So no, the Dead Sea Scrolls don't mention Jesus by name, but they do something just as important. They show us why someone like Jesus was even possible, and maybe inevitable. In the next episode, we'll meet one of the most controversial women in the Bible, Mary Magdalene, disciple, lover, or misunderstood symbol. Don't miss it.